Right, I'm in the middle. I'm ready. Hello everybody, I hope that you're well. My name is Gareth Martin. I'm here to take you through a journey of yoga, show you what it's all about, try and explain to you what it's all about. I'm by no means an expert, that is for sure. I literally took it up seriously last year. And I went to India to do my yoga teacher training, which was really amazing. But to be honest, even though I train yoga every single day, since then I've never actually taught it. So I find that I'm starting to get like a little bit rusty, and I always wanted to teach it. And I do definitely want to teach it in person at some point. But for now, I'm more than happy just doing it from the comfort of my own house, and hopefully able to reach a few more people doing it that way. So I guess what I intend to do is teach you, I guess, what I know. I know it's kind of easy to get disheartened if you look on Instagram and Facebook and whatever, and you're seeing all these amazing yogis doing all these amazing things, and like, fair play to them, they've done the time, they are amazing for a particular reason, but most of us are actually really normal and can't do half those amazing things that they do. So we need to start literally at the beginning and kind of just explain like what yoga is, certain aspects of it that are important to always be conscious of when you're doing it. And yeah, let's just take this as a journey. We'll hopefully once a week I'll be able to post some sort of yoga class for you, and go into a little bit of detail regarding a specific thing related to yoga. And it'll be a fun, cool journey, and hopefully a little bit interesting, and you'll get to understand your body a little bit better as well. So I'll just also tell you a little bit about myself and where this all comes from. So like I said, my name is Gareth Martin. I'm 37 years old, and I'm originally from South Africa, but I've been living in the UK for just over half my life, or a bit more than half my life, nearly 19 years now, so a fair amount of time. And pretty much since I was 16, I was hitting the weights. I was very sporty as a youngster. Like before that, did a lot of swimming, running, cricket, all those sort of sports that you kind of play as a youngster at school. But from about 16 was when I really started getting excited about the gym, and literally from then for the next 20 years, that's what I did. I played sports as well, but I was always going to the gym, and I loved it, and I still absolutely do love it. And I think all sporting activities have a place in this world, and gym for me was like my place where I made my mates, I found a bit of peace, and it was just a good times, basically. Always have fantastic memories of it, and always will. So I was towards the end of my weight training and stuff. I started competing in quite a few bodybuilding competitions, which for me was just like awesome. I loved it. The idea of kind of getting on stage was nerve-wracking, but at the same time it was like a great challenge, you know what I mean? Mostly mentally, because getting over that fear of being in front of a ton of people was very tough, but for me, like, it was a great growth aspect in terms of myself as a person. But then that all kind of came to an end, basically because I think that in life you have different phases, like physically. And for me, your younger years are your growth years, and your older years, you need to start caring for your body for the future. So when I was hitting weights, it was great for obviously my muscular development, my joint health, my ligaments, also the bone density, because it does help actually strengthen your bones and thicken your bones. So that phase kind of, for me, has not finished completely. I'm not saying I'm never going to hit weights again, but for the time being it has. And for the last year, I literally haven't been into the gym to hit any weights, and now it's just been a full focus on yoga, which has been amazing. Like, it's been a great change. It's been really, really tough, like having to start something almost from scratch that you're no good at and try and become good at it. You know what I mean? It's like you go from being awesome at something, and you can easily just carry on there, but then you decide, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start something that I'm useless at and build up from there. So like, it's been a great challenge, both physically, mentally, but also it's provided me with a lot of life lessons and just lessons about myself, getting to understand myself and stuff. So I actually went out to India last year to do my yoga teacher training, which was seriously amazing. If you're ever considering doing it, just hit me up, and I'm more than happy to give you some advice on how to choose which course you want to do, whatever the story is, where to go, etc. India is definitely a special place. It's kind of like where everything began in terms of yoga, so they sort of know what they're talking about there. But yeah, so that was, that's my, I guess, history, just a bit about me. And yeah, since I finished my yoga course, like, I haven't actually taught it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been meaning to, but kind of life gets in the way and you want to do everything, I think, as a lot of people do, but you kind of never get around to doing, one of the things you really want to do. So, ultimately I want to start teaching in front of people, but for now, from the comfort of my own home is quite nice, and also probably, or hopefully, having a bigger reach to all people around the world, and yeah, like I said, this is a great journey. There's so much to learn. I'm by far no expert, but hopefully through my own learnings and teachings and that, I will learn more as well and be able to help you. So, I know I've spoken a lot here, and you're probably going, come on, Gareth, just flip and move on, will you? But it's quite cool to know a little bit about your teacher and where they're coming from and stuff. So yeah, so basically, I'm going to be doing probably weekly classes, I think. But these first two, I just want to kind of, first of all, tell you a little bit about things that you don't necessarily find out straight away when you do yoga. Like, when you walk into a class for the first time, most teachers, they only have like an hour, so it's really difficult for them to get into any sort of detail for people that are beginners. And I often think it's like kind of skipped over. I remember my first time I did yoga, which was ages ago, probably like 12 years ago, I went to my first class, and like, you just go into a gym or a studio and they have to just start because there's a whole lot of other people there too, and they just kind of get going into that day's class, which is 100% fair enough. So hopefully I can teach you a little bit about some of the things that I found quite important to know and that have really helped me in my practice. But first things first, the cool thing about this is you don't need a gym, right? You can do it from the comfort of your own home, and you can do it kind of whenever you want, you know what I mean? And we'll probably just do like 30-minute classes initially, just to show you the basics, show you the ropes. And it's always important to go into things quite slowly, I think, as well. You don't want to end up hating it because someone's like, yeah, you must do like an hour here and then an hour tomorrow and then the next day and the next day. It's just literally too much, so just ease yourself into it. I think 30 minutes is a good amount of time. It gives you a little bit of a chance to do a tiny warm-up, have a little bit of a class, and then a little bit of a rest at the end, and fit it in whenever you can. me personally, I'm a morning person, so I get my practice in every single morning, but everyone's life is obviously different, so just try and fit it in where you can, and just make the most of it and enjoy it. That's one of the, that's one of the reasons we do stuff, and that's one of the reasons we're on this world, is just to enjoy doing things. So yeah, first things first, like I said, you can just do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need to spend a fortune, that's for sure. What I would say, I'd say get yourself a nice mat. Okay, I've tried plenty. Everyone is different, so you might have to get a couple just to find out what works for you. You can get them really cheaply online, on Amazon, whatever. I've got some that I bought for like £10 or something like that, which are awesome. But I find that over time you lose a little bit of the grip, or they might even be like a little bit too thick. But everyone, like I said, once again, you're all different. So go and find what works for you. So mat, essential, definitely. You don't want to be doing it on this floor because you're going to slip, you're going to injure yourself, and all those sort of things. The other things which you may want to consider, but like you don't have to get, and you can use alternatives, right? So this is a strap. Okay, it's good for reaching to parts of your body that you can't reach when you are inflexible, like myself. But look, you can kind of make this if you want, you know what I mean? You can take some spare material that you have, you can get a towel, whatever you want. So you don't need to, even though these things are as cheap as chips, you don't need to buy them. But it does come in very, very handy, especially early on in your yoga practice. Even like for your first 5-6 years, I reckon you're going to need this thing to do it properly, right? The other one is a block. You're going to get into quite a few different positions that are initially quite awkward and a struggle to get into, and just having a bit of elevation sometimes helps, and these blocks are awesome. You can pick up awesome ones for pretty cheap. I mean, this one's not the greatest, I would say, because it's a little bit soft. You want ones that are harder, but you can get this pretty much online anywhere. If you can get those cool cork ones, I advise that. They're a little bit more expensive, I think like £10 for a pair or something, so still relatively cheap. So get that, those three things. Also, these ones you can actually even make. Do you know what I mean? You can get a brick, okay, like a heavy brick, and you can almost knit the outside of it so that it's softer, and it's like a little blanket, I guess, for it. And then you don't have to buy one, but then I guess you have to knit, or you can ask your mom or your granny, or knit yourself, whatever the story is. And so those are the things that I think are essentials in terms of what you need. And this is going to be the end of the first video, I think, and I will see you in the second video soon. We're going to just talk about things that are important from my aspect, like in terms of your yoga practice, from your breathing, where you're looking, different parts of your body that you kind of need to activate. Also your mindset, who is this actually for, and what to expect like during a class. And then the lesson after that will go through something like just a run through of the basic postures, and like how to get into them, and when to breathe, and where to look, and those sort of things. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully it's going to be a bit informative to you. It's going to be a nice way to ease into it. And then after that, we can start doing some easy classes and take it from there. Cool, well, take care guys, and I'll see you really, really soon. Cheers, bye.